Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pullze Check podcast, man. Guys, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
About to say it.
We actually had a good update, fellas. At least, okay,
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, damn, this dude actually going crazy.
What was I going to say? What was I going to say?
I thought you were going to say something's back, but nah. I was like,
chill.
JGOD, chill. What is this dude doing? Don't do it, Hector.
No, man. I can't believe I'm going to say this, though. Like, we actually just had, in my opinion, the first good update that I think move the needle forward. But I'm curious to see your guys' thoughts on it all, man. But before dude, I'm rushing. What am I saying? Yo, let me introduce my GOAT JGOD and my boy Ebatez, bro.
Whoa.
How is everybody doing, man? Talk to me. How y'all doing?
Good.
Feeling good. I feel like I've been finally playing the game and enjoying it a little bit more, especially after the update. And obviously we'll get into that a little bit, but the game is it's still pretty down bad, but at least we got a decent update.
Okay. All right. Talk to me, Jay. What about you, man?
Yeah, I think it's in the same spot where like the foundation continues to get better. I think one thing I was talking with Chad about before we started the pod is that like we're getting this update for this in December, not like June. And it's better than all of last year's reductions that Sledgehammer did. I like cool on Sledgehammer for being proactive, and a lot of the stuff they did last year was awesome. But they did like the update like 4 times to this thing, and I promise it was nowhere near as noticeable as this update.
Yeah. You know that I think we were talking about it in the podcast, right? Like a couple, maybe last week. I did not expect whenever they said, "Hey, we're gonna make reductions to this." I'll be the first one to say when I was wrong. I said, there's no way it's going to be enough. Like they're going to bring it out and they're going to be little incremental changes and it's not going to be enough. And I said that, I think it was last podcast, maybe 2 podcasts ago. And bro, boy, was I wrong. I wrong. And I'm going to keep it $150, brother. Today's update. And then JD, if you can bring up the patch notes so we can talk about it. I was wrong, bro. They actually made significant changes to visual recoil, weapon sway, and bob. And again, bro, you know, the fact that Diaz gassed this, and Diaz is the most negative person I've ever met in my life.
Well, his tweet before he even felt the game was super toxic. I was like, bro.
I've seen that.
Yeah, right, bro. And so, like, and he played it, he was like, wait, his words were like, bro, this actually feels like Warzone. Like, what the fuck? This genuinely, and okay, so we're going to compare it, right? But like, do you guys feel like this is pretty close to Warzone 1 visual recoil?
I'd say it's pretty similar.
I would say it's still a hair like more.
Okay.
And I think the bigger issue currently is the bounce that you get. When you do the comparison, like obviously Isaac put out a really good clip that shows it.
Yeah.
But in the video that I did the side-by-side comparisons, when you jump and you land is more the bigger issue. Where your crosshairs go as low relative to as how high. So for example, like if you jump, your crosshairs will go up, and then when you land, it goes down.
Yeah.
When MW 2019, your crosshairs would go up, and then when it would come back to basically neutral, maybe slightly below. But right now it's like still like 80% of the height. That's how low it's going, which is not good. And I get they want you to use dexterity probably. But even then, that's dexterity is still bad. Yeah. Like it should be better than dexterity should be the default. And dexterity should be like nuts.
I think an ongoing frustration.
Not
I feel
even
like
none, because obviously when you jump, your crosshair should still go up.
Okay.
Right.
But when you land, it shouldn't have the effect of your gun like, oh shit, this is 100 pounds.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's like one of those.
I think the ongoing frustration is that they keep putting perks to give things that we used to have. And I think that's kind of what I realized the past few days. I was thinking about it. I'm like, dude, I mean, unlimited attack sprint. Now it's a perk. And then now it's
we
like
never had
dexterity.
unlimited attack sprint though.
Well, we did because of slide cancel and resetting.
Yeah.
But
and
still,
I feel like that was a part of the game.
Slower than if you could unlimited sprint.
Yeah. Was it?
Yes.
It was slower than if you could. Oh, I see what you mean.
Because the slide would slow you down.
Yeah, because you would have to. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I see what you're
I
saying.
mean, I see what Ebatez is saying. Like, like a lot of the things that they add to the game, it's always a perk. And like, look, as long as the base feels great without perks, I am okay with it. And I think right now they've definitely moved the needle a lot more forward than what we've had. I mean, bro, you look at all our podcasts, my YouTube videos, like I am torching the game. And this is the first time where I'm like, yo, like this is actually, I was like, yo, this is good. Like I did not expect it to be that drastic of a change, but still some things need to be addressed, right? Like we said, well, again, not perfect, but like, bro, like this should have been the way the game came out to begin with.
Right.
You know, like this should have been the way it should have came out to begin with. And then we take this time to progress forward. But hey, look, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, why are you guys praising them for doing what they've done like before? I'm gonna keep it $150 with y'all. If we don't at least say that we like it, things will never change.
For
Well,
sure.
it's also kind of weird too, because like, I think there's people that genuinely will complain every single day. Then it's like, well, they're just complaining to complain.
Right.
And then it's like, well, when, like, what are we just supposed to not acknowledge that it was fucking amazing? Like,
Yeah.
like
Like,
what
you
are we
have
doing?
You have to be like this. At least this is what I always try to do. Is like, if an update's good, call it out for being good. If an update's shit, call it out for being shit. Like, and at least from my personal experiences, like Activision and the people that all work there, they are all really receptive to that, right? When you say, yo, this was bad, or yo, this was good, right?
Right.
So, you know, I don't know. This update, in my opinion, was the best update we've had so far. And I think it was great. No troll. I mean, I'm assuming you guys thought the same, right?
Yeah,
100%.
and also on top of that, the frequency of these updates is kind of ridiculous in a good way. Like, I don't know if you saw the tweet. What was it like? It was
4 hours
yesterday.
ago? Oh, they put out a tweet
I
like
think
4
it
hours
was
ago.
yesterday, where it was like a summary of all the updates, and they basically owned up to that they're working their ass off to get shit done. Let me see if I have it. It's from Call of Duty updates. Let's see. I think it was posted last night, and it was all like, we deployed a fix for X, Y, Z, and it was just like a long list. And I'm like,
Right. Was
Oh,
that today
damn.
or was that yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
I can't find that.
Yeah, December 11th at 2:06 my time, so 4:06 your time. I'll put it in the group chat.
Was it Raven
But-
or just Call of Duty updates?
Call of Duty updates. I'll put it in the
Oh,
chat.
yeah. I see.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely.
Oh, I see that.
I mean, I'm assuming
So,
obviously
but that
Christmas
last
break.
line, it says, we remain committed. This is the transparency part that I've talked a lot about. Remain committed to tracking, investigating, and reporting for Asian community. Studio teams are always monitoring reported issues and continue to prioritize optimization as our infrastructure to ensure the best experience for all players. So obviously they're acknowledging their servers are still chalked and they have a lot of work to do. But I
Right.
don't think we've ever had that many updates in sequential order, like not sequential order, but like back to back, prior to the break that they'll inevitably have in about a week.
Right. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Like, even then, bro, like, look, I'm actually surprised because every year they take forever to make updates. Like you said, JGOD, like they make these changes in December that they would normally make by June, right? Again, yes, I agree with everybody when they say they shouldn't even have to make these updates. But sadly, that's the position that we're in right now with every year having to start from zero. That's just the way it's going to be, right? But
I don't think it's going to be like that going forward, though.
not next year. I don't know about the year after that.
I don't think
That's the
even
one
then.
question mark. Ooh, why?
Well,
Next
the
year, okay.
leaks.
Well, next year for sure. It's not the work at least I think, right? Okay, fingers crossed from what I'm using common sense here, guys. I don't have leaks. But next year, should whatever changes they make this year should carry on to next year because it's a Treyarch game again.
Yeah,
Right.
but even the next game, basically, did you see the leak with the IW thing?
Yeah, it's IW.
Ghost of
Oh, it's
Hope
Omni
and-
movement with
Yeah, so basically, like IW was probably forced to have the same engine. Like not the same engine. I know we use that stupidly, but whatever. Like it's gonna be the same. So I think like we'll have for like going forward, it'll be the same, and then maybe
Oh,
they'll
wow.
tweak. We'll be able to get the wall bouncing thing because they finally recovered from Warzone 2.
Right.
Like finally, bro,
No, we
I
have
saw
it.
some
We have
gameplay
it.
of that, bro. Like I
Bad,
was looking
bad.
at some clips, so like look at the visual recoil. It's like
Yeah.
I was
Dude, it
like,
was
bro,
so
what
bad.
were we doing?
Wait, okay. So, obviously this is not confirmed, right? We're just speculating.
Yeah.
In your opinion, you think because of that leak, that for JD, can you give us visuals so we can see it?
Yeah. So the only thing I think will end up happening is that they'll either keep the weapons and they'll just be in the inventory and no one will use them except for the people that want to, like, go out of their way to use them, or they'll vault, like, so there's only 3 titles at once in the game. That's the only part that's a little bit wonky.
The guns, right?
Other than that, I feel like they'll go ahead and keep and maintain pretty much a lot of the stuff we have. They'll probably add more perks so that, like, next year they'll just add perks instead of changing the perk system, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, the wild cards will be the wild cards, like, and they maybe even add more wild cards to kind of like mix it up and get people like out of using the meta by making something broken. But in general, like, I think it'll be the same UI, loadout, like all that stuff will keep going forward, because they had to recover from getting rid of AI, duo gulag, like all this BS that like was in the game for the longest, that like they thought was going to be great if it was great and they would have been able to lean all into it. But now it's finally gotten out of that. The servers are still going to be an issue, bugs, whatever. But then next year it should have less of those issues.
Wait, that would like, low key, I'm curious to see if that's going to be the case, because next year I'm pretty confident, because it's a Treyarch game. Like, we're going to have another quote unquote 2-year cycle like we did Modern Warfare 2019 to Cold War, or we're going to get all the new guns, but the base of the game will stay the same, which is, I'm obviously, we all want that. We want Warzone to be its own separate entity. Shit, multiplayer kids want the same thing. We want it to be separate. Like, obviously we know that Call of Duty doesn't want that. They want it to feel as one-to-one as possible. But if that's the case, man, I'm curious to see if this is like, if they've heard the feedback from this year and be like, hey, yo, like, these integrations suck. Like, yeah, do an integration where you're not changing the whole game. Just bring the guns in. And if there's additions to movement, for example, like you said, omni movement, but just with wall bouncing or wall running, okay, bring the wall running to it, but the core of the game stays the same. I'm curious. Let's talk about this then. When it comes to IW games are pretty snappy. Right?
I think it's just going to be the same.
I
think it's going to be the same. Like, I think they're just going to be able to make it so that the IW game will feel like the engine the way it feels.
But okay, hear me out. Do you think IW would want to do that? Because
doesn't matter what they want to do.
Ooh, you think so?
I don't think so. I think they fucked up so bad with Warzone 2 that they're basically like, oh, this shit's cooking. Everyone's liking this. Let's keep this. I don't know, though. I don't know. These are just my assumptions.
Are you saying, do you think the multiplayer and Warzone experience will be like a little different? Like, do you think the movement and stuff will be different, or do you think it's going to be the same exact game? Like,
I think it'll be very similar. I think it'll be very similar.
I think what he's saying is that IW probably got like in big trouble with Warzone 2 and how bad that did, that they see now how
in terms of retention, it did great in sales.
Yeah. And now how good Treyarch has been doing that, they might be like, hey, look, IW, whether you like it or not, you're doing this movement because numbers show that it's doing better.
But that's what the leaks show, is that they're also doing the movement. So I feel like their philosophy on other systems, the perks in the multiplayer, there's a lot of stuff you can change in the game. The spawns, the maps, there's a lot of things they'll have things over, but I think they want the games to feel similar. And we never even talked about it. We brought it up like 3 pods ago, where they talked about I think they leaked it, where there's like going to be a community where they vote, like, basically on what stays in COD, like prestiging and
wait, what?
You don't remember that?
No, that was
a committee. A committee. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying the Xbox, right? Microsoft is doing like adding like a committee at the top
for COD.
Yeah.
So that basically they can't like change what they want whenever they want. Like, they go, here's the like things you cannot change, prestiging. So basically, if that's a thing, then it's going to be there forever. And then, this other thing, this is how it is. And then basically within that framework, you can do pretty much whatever else you want for your game. How you design your maps, your perks, your streaks. If you use score streaks versus kill streaks, if you have a nuke, if you don't, like cool. But these other things you cannot change.
Oh, okay.
I wonder, do you think
that's basically how that sounded?
Do you think that was solely because of how bad IW messed up on Warzone 2, or do you think it's because Microsoft taking over and that's just something they said, hey, I think this would be the best course of action here? What do you think it was?
I don't know.
Maybe a combo of
I don't
both?
know. It's probably both. I think realistically with that committee thing, it's what people have talked about for COD forever. Even back in like BO2, MW3, people were like, it would be kind of smart if they all just worked together on making the game. Like that game would be awesome. Because back in the day, you'd be like, oh, because IW is good at this, Treyarch's good at this, Sledgehammer's good at this, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'd go, okay, cool. They could all do like what they're really good at, and this game would be a super game. Well, now I think that allows those teams to do that, whereas they can maybe collaborate and say, hey, you know what, we really want like this idea, but Treyarch's good at that, so that person will work on it. And they've already been collaborating since Warzone forever now, for 5 or 6 years or whatever it is. So I don't know. That was still just a rumor, but usually when Charlie Intel retweets something, or then it's like he has a source too.
Yeah.
It's not just like, because there's plenty of stuff that those guys tweet that they don't retweet, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's not legit.
That's what I've learned when it comes to Charlie. Hey man, if Charlie says it, it's all but confirmed, bro. Like. How did Charlie the other day? How did Charlie tweet out there's going to be an update going live in 1 hour when no official Call of Duty page said tweeted it? Not a single one. I was like, bro. I was like, how does Charlie know this? I was like, how does he know this?
That was the weirdest thing too, because they go, oh, there's a patch. The patch goes through, and they're like, here's the patch notes, and then it's like, oh, the patch is going to go out shortly. And it's like, oh, I just got a patch, and there's another patch.
Yeah.
Like, I went in a game. I actually did side by side. I was like, they're fucking gaslighting us again? Nothing changed.
Wait, CC.
Update went through.
That right there, JGOD, what you just said, I was so confused because it said that tweet went out from Charlie and then an update came out. I was watching Adrian. I said, Adrian, I was like, shoot your gun in the firing range. Let me see something. And then I was like, bro, they made no changes. It feels no different. And then an hour or two later, Treyarch tweeted, update just went live. And I was like, bro, what? So,
Exactly.
He's got to have like data leakers or something that tells him like, hey, there's like something changed in the game files. There's an update in an hour.
Damn. Okay. So let's talk about this because we did talk about it a little bit, but I want to kind of recircle to this. Features like Omni Movement returning will be decided by this committee, not studios, as they are being told to focus on innovating maps, modes, and storytelling, not areas like UI, prestigious, etc. Do you guys think Omni Movement is coming back in like no matter what? Obviously, we heard it's coming back, right? Like, I'm very confused with this decision.
Did you go early for the Omni Movement?
I'm trying to be careful with what I say here.
So.
I think
you
so.
did.
No, Hector wasn't there because
you were there though, right, Ebatez?
Yeah, because I flew to Hector's house the day after.
If it was an LA focused thing, then probably not.
Because I felt like we played it with a small group.
Yeah, then it was probably an LA focused thing.
So when they did that one, it sounded like they spent a lot of time on the Omni Movement with the plans that it would be what every COD would use going forward.
Long term,
that's the way that presentation presented it. Obviously, if it felt like trash and it was terrible, then they'd have to chalk it. But I think they had good expectations that it would be well received.
Yeah.
Especially, like, a lot of people just think it's a fucking dive or whatever and whatever. But the sliding, the way you prone and all that stuff, and then also just the sprinting in all directions, that's more the Omni Movement. And I think they won't go back from that.
I think it'll be there for like probably next 4 years, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I personally think that's fire, and I would personally love that. I like seeing that there's a leak right now that IW is going to keep Omni Movement with wall running. It's kind of insane. Like again, I hope that, you know, right now we have delays from prone to, or standing to prone, from jumping. There's this bob, right? Like, I'm curious to see, you know, when IW does integrate, do they have to keep things like that? Does that make sense? Like
right.
Because IW, as far as before, was pretty, like, IW's pretty snappy. Like, even with Warzone 2, their stuff was pretty snappy, right? Like, it just, like, you know, but they added all this visual recall, this shit, a bunch of horrible what do you call it, JGOD?
It's just nonsense, bro.
Nonsense to the game, right? Like you go back to Modern Warfare 2019, and I was just watching footage. Like it's very simple, but it's snappy. Like so, I'm curious. IW, are they going to keep IW snappiness, but just integrate it into Omni movement? Because then that would technically make the game feel different, right? Like, what are these decisions that they're going to make at the top end? Hey, yeah, you have to incorporate Omni movement, but is it like IW's version of Omni movement?
They're probably working with what we have now, and they're just trying to improve it into like integrate into the next game. I doubt they're like making a whole new system. It's probably exactly what we have now, and they're just going to add like little things.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because wall running definitely is good. They're going to add that to Warzone. I don't see them not doing it. Like I hope that they can figure out how to not do this crazy integration, a crazy insane integration every single year, but while also bringing in the cool stuff. Like again, if they keep the base the same and they only add to it, I feel like that's very easy to add to Warzone. Very easy to integrate into Warzone, as opposed to last year to this year, they changed the whole system. As opposed to Warzone 2 to Modern Warfare 3, they changed the whole system, right? Like,
well, I think also with if they keep the system similar, then they're able to get ahead, especially with the rumors that Avalon's complete. I don't know if that's actually true. Obviously, we've seen Play-Doh model of it. Doesn't mean it's done, but basically, then they could already start working on the next year's content, right? Like they end up working like that far in advance, multiple seasons in advance or whatever. So I don't know. I think overall it's going to be good. It does suck that like it was a year and a half of basically terrible gameplay.
Yeah.
But like how fast and responsive they've been, I feel like they're going to get Warzone situated before Verdansk.
Yeah, I agree with you, and most people probably will not agree with us. But I think with the way that they've been moving, JGOD, Ebatez, like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I never in a million years thought they would reduce the time to slide or dive as fast as they did. Bro, when that update came out, it was within the first week. I was like, bro, what? I was like, hold on, who's in charge? Because like, that was actually a good update. Like that was actually like a good change. And then even now, the reduction to visual recoil, sway and bob. I'm like, hold on. Like, who did this? Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. JD, if you can bring up the clip of comparing the two, let's talk about the update, man. So pretty much, the big change of why the game feels a lot different, in my opinion. And I wanted to get a keyboard and mouse player in here, chat. Guys, get mad at Huskers. I invited him. You know, he said, I'm grinding ranked. I said, fuck you, Huskers. You know, but chat, they drastically reduced visual recoil, weapon bob, and sway on all Black Ops 6 guns. And this, to me,
I hadn't checked it yet, but some people said it was even on MW2 and MW3 guns.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, because I think they just changed the values, like, rifles, 25% less or whatever.
Yeah, I was surprised that it was like it was kind of like a blanket update. Like it didn't seem like they had to go through like and adjust each individual weapon. It seems like they applied this and it just applied to everything.
Yeah. I mean, bro, I'm gonna be honest. That to me, I got on. I was like, whoa! Like I don't think in the history of Warzone, you know, we know how they do updates, where they do incremental updates, right? There was never a time where I got on, as opposed to Caldera to Warzone 2, where I got on and I was like, whoa, like I can tell a big difference. Like never.
Yeah, most of the time it's like, I think it's a little bit faster.
yeah. Like, and then this one I played yesterday when it came out or 2 days ago, and I was like, yo, this is a big I was like, bro, what the fuck? So JD, can you bring up the visual, please? So this is JGOD's, right?
Bro, this is such a good, like, look at the crosshair on the left.
You know what's funny? The second to last gun is the craziest. Not this one. I think it's the next gun. Let me see. Okay. It's a significant difference. Look at that.
The scope
look how much
moving
shake
is fine.
the left is.
The scope moving is fine, but the crosshair bouncing is insane.
This one also, look at that one a little bit.
Dude,
bro.
Look at the left. Like,
bro.
There's just no clarity. Like, you literally can't even see.
That one's not too bad either
insane.
way.
Yeah. Like, just in general, bro, like I'm mind blown that they made this change. And you know what's crazy is like that's with scoped guns. We're not even looking at like
Iron sights.
iron sight guns, which you can tell the most.
What that dude's name? He had an insane freaking clip.
Ooh, yeah.
X's?
Bro, that one was good too. That strafing one.
I sent to the group chat like Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, like old gameplay. But like this is what the guns used to look like. And that looks, dude.
So this is the conversation we're gonna bring up, and I want to talk about it in lengths because there are some people that don't like it, but I think they just don't know how to articulate what they really what they're trying to say, right? Yeah. Because a lot of players are saying, and pro players as well, are saying like, "Yo, here, look, chat. This is like OG
Modern Warfare 3.
What Modern Warfare is this? Modern Warfare 3?
Modern Warfare 3.
Look how much visual recoil there was.
There's no visual recoil. There's literally none.
Zero.
Literally no visual recoil. The only recoil on the gun was just regular recoil. And even then,
you can like actually see what you're shooting.
But
like,
that recoil back then was way more random.
And aim assist was so weak. So weak.
Yes.
Like there's like
they would do like a
barely any
bouncy
aim
recoil.
assist. There's like no aim assist on this game.
Wait, let me
look
see
at that.
Likes.
Wow, bro. So, all right. So this is what most people are complaining about. They're upset that the game's too easy now, which I agree with you. You're right. It's too easy. But here's the thing. This is the best way to describe it, right? Call of Duty has made, since Modern Warfare 2019, because it was integrated then, not as much Commando foregrip. We talked about this. But Call of Duty has done this thing since Modern Warfare 2019 where they introduced weapon sway and visual recoil into the game, right? Because of that, right? Let's say there's two sliders. One is visual recoil, one is actual recoil. They increased visual recoil significantly, and to make up for pretty much the lesser skilled players, to make it so that everybody can compete, they lowered the regular recoil down here, right? To quote unquote balance the recoil as a whole, right? Now, what they did is they reduced, pretty much took off for the most part, visual recoil, but because of that, the regular recoil is it's almost non-existent. Right. So if they want to balance, right, recoil, they would increase regular recoil while keeping visual recoil this low. Here's the thing though. Having low recoil as a whole is Call of Duty. And believe it or not, guys, it helps out casuals a lot. Right? Yep. Yes, Call of Duty is the most baby game FPS in the world. It is the easiest to shoot straight, but that's a lot of you guys watching this. A lot of people in general have played this game for 10, 15 years, right? 5 years, whatever it is. Some people don't have that skill that a lot of us have, right? So they have to even the playing field, they have to make it somewhat fair. Do I agree with it? I'm not a game designer, but you go to Warzone, everybody can shoot straight right now. If it was up to me, my selfish opinion, I would increase regular recoil, keeping no visual recoil like back in the old days, right? Yep. That's what I wish it would do. But I completely understand that I am in the minority here. And I am who knows what competitive players percentage that makes up, 1%? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I get it from a balancing perspective, or what I wish is they would just nerf aim assist.
Facts. Dynamic aim assist is ruined gaming. Actually ruined COD.
You know, if it was up to me, I would just lower down aim assist because, again, for the players that have played the game for 10, 15 years, reducing aim assist is not going to affect you that much. Reducing aim assist is going to affect the people that play an hour or two a day, you know, maybe even 2-3 hours a week, right? That's what's going to affect the most, which is why aim assist on Call of Duty is so broken, because it's to cater to those type of players, right? And so I don't know. I honestly, if they didn't adjust the recoil now, I'd be happy. Like if they left it at this, I'm okay, because at the end of the day, I'm having fun, right? If they increase the recoil, I'm happy. Of course, but do I expect them to do that? Probably not, man. I really don't think they'll increase the recoil, in my opinion, because more than likely, the casuals are probably getting on this game and they're probably like, yo, I'm shooting a little bit straighter. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. Thoughts on the Ebatez?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I think it obviously is like a 1% kind of opinion, like where we're like, yo, like maximize skill gap as much as we possibly can. And we always like try to push that needle. I think if they're going to keep it how it is, I think 100 round mags on AR's got to go. And I think LMGs have to have like a really, really slow reload speed just to kind of like balance everything a little bit. Cause that XM4 that has a 100 round mag right now, when you shoot that straight, it just like, it's insane with that quick of a reload and that quick of ADS, it's insane. So I think they need to go back to like kind of the old days where it's like the stoner back in like OG Warzone. You know, the reload speed was super slow, but it had a 100 round mag. I just like ARs in general, just max 60 round mag. And then on the slower rate of fire guns, like EM2, for example, had like 40 round mags. I think the AMAX was a 45 round mag. So just like stuff like that. That's
but
like
it was only 100 health,
it.
so it's a little bit different.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. I just like that's probably the best way to balance it if they're going to keep things how it is.
Okay. All right. Did you end up finding the clip?
I'm still looking. I'm still looking.
Oh shoot. It was Iron Sight clip, right?
Yeah, it was an Iron Sight clip of somebody on Nuketown, and they were on keyboard and mouse literally whipping their aim.
Oh,
and it looked insane.
I saw this.
But I think it was a account by name of Nexus something or other, but I cannot find it.
Oh, I have it. Give me a sec.
You do have it.
Buy me time.
Okay.
Hey, I was
that clip is crazy because it really does show. It ends up looking like the clip we just saw from MW2 or MW3 or whatever clip we were looking at.
Yeah.
It looks like that,
I uploaded
which is
a YouTube
awesome.
video.
Oh, shoot.
Give me a sec. I'll find it.
Yeah, like that's why I really wanted to get a mouse and keyboard player on the podcast today because obviously we don't play. Oh look, Pirate got it, JD.
It's Nexus PC.
Oh, Nexus PC. I knew I that was the name, but I couldn't find it. You look at that clip and you're like, is it the same game? What the fuck? You can do that now? It looks crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. So like, bro, like I
sent it to a group chat.
Okay, yeah, JD, let's pull that up and then we'll show it to chat.
It's with the Model L, right? That's the one you're talking about?
Is it Model L? I thought it was AK. I mean, I didn't really look at it that closely.
Yeah.
I wish I would have liked it because then I would have had it in my likes.
I put in group chat. You're good. I'm pretty sure that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Let's see. All right, there it is. Okay. Yeah, bro.
You can actually see the irons, bro.
Yeah.
I know, which is great. I think this is great.
This is the way it should be. This is the way it should be.
100% should be.
OG Warzone, you got to use the RPG with the Iron Sight M4. That was vibes. I mean, we've had other like Iron Sight metas.
Like obviously they're skilled players, so they're making it. Obviously, it's a low recoil, all that stuff. They're keyboard and mouse, good player, but the visual on the Iron Sights is crazy. There's no sway, no bob. There's still a little bit of shake on the rear part of it where the stock is, and I think that's fine. It's not OD like it was before. But Iron Sights is ridiculous. Like when I saw that clip, I was like, holy, what the fuck has he got? Like, that's crazy.
See, like, and again, that's what I think a lot of people are confusing. The people who don't like this update, which is insane. I really don't think anybody likes visual recoil. I don't think anybody, if you, I'm be honest, I think there's no troll, maybe like 0.001% of people that actually like visual recoil because it's realistic. I'm not even kidding. But people that are voicing their opinions, even like Shotzi, Dashy, I don't think they actually not like visual recoil. They just don't like that there's no recoil in general.
They like a larger
guns.
skill gap, obviously.
Yeah, part of the problem though is they only use one gun and they GA all the other guns. Like if they wanted recoil, there's 5 other guns in the game that they could use that have recoil, but they've elected to GA those or remove those from ranked. So they're only going to use the one with the lowest recoil. So they only get the one option. Like that's the problem. They'll have to revote on GAs if they want to increase recoil guns, or remove the vertical grip or whatever the hell they got to do. Right. But they play a completely different game.
You guys saw that video I sent in the group chat, though. I put in a clip of the Cold War Krig versus like the aims that they're using now. I mean, the quality on the Dashy clip's kind of bad, but if you scroll up to Tuesday, I put it up there like as an actual video, not like a post. I mean, you could even watch the first 10 seconds of that clip, and that's the Cold War.
Yeah, they use the
Krig from Cold War.
MCW. Could we look at the VO4 meta for them? The Maddox, bro. Like, I mean, what are we talking about?
That Cold War Krig is barely moving. The only thing that moves is like kind of the red dot, but like not even.
They've always had that type of meta, and it's just like, nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I said it as a post, so if JD's gonna show it, make sure you go full screen so you don't leak DMs. But yeah, I mean, in general, like, I don't know, like I was comparing the two, and I was like, dude, this doesn't look that different. I'm sure they're just probably used to what they've been playing already, and they're just like a little frustrated because I mean, Dashy is obviously one of the more like talented like shooters in the game. Like he shoots pretty straight, so obviously like the more the gun moves, like the better off he is. So I'm sure that's why he's probably frustrated. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I can't send it because he's not in the. Here, I can add him. If you've been in group chats, can you add people and then will it show you?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It won't show any new messages.
Oh, okay.
No, it's all good. No worries. I can. Yeah, it's fine.
Pretty much, it's pretty identical to what they're playing right now. But I agree with you, Jacob. Like in general, yes. Like, do I think adding recoil in general, not visual recoil? Please don't get it twisted. Visual recoil should never be in COD ever again. But regular recoil, yeah, you can do that. Do I think adding that would make the game have a skill gap? Even though Call of Duty has no skill gap, but some form of skill gap, yes. But again, I understand that is my selfish like want because we're in the competitive side of things, right? We want, we've been playing the game for 15 plus years, right? Most people don't, and I get why they do it, right? So if they don't make any changes, I'm happy. If they do make changes, I'm happy, right? There are certain things that, like JGOD said, that the top players can do, especially in CDL. I think it's a little bit easier to fix in CDL because then, just GA these attachments, or we're using a different gun that does require skill gap, right? Warzone, not so much because
but
they don't believe
promise you, that conversation probably won't happen.
What?
Like with they're not going to change their rule set. Like they're going to stick with the low recoil gun because that's what they use every single year. They've never used a semi-recoil gun in comp that I can recall.
Like, I wonder if they would no,
if they're fine with the low skill gap, low recoil weapon. Like that's what they use. Not that they can't use other things. It's just literally that's what they use.
That's what they've done for majority of the years, right? Yeah. So I don't know, man. In my opinion, this is, I will say, the best update, in my opinion, so far this year. Now, I'm hoping that they can continue and progress off of this and continue to improve off of this update, and just keep moving because, bro, again, they are making like a lot of changes, and I'm hoping, like, what do you guys think right now that they got to fix apart from what's they've done so far, right?
Bugs and servers.
So do you guys think the servers changed at all? Because they did say they made changes to the servers on the 11th, which was yesterday.
I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it.
Well, I think they're continuing to optimize, but it could be one of those things where, like I said, it really depends on where you're at. Like they could server optimize and whatever, and it helps these areas, but there's still going to be people that have issues if they're in, I don't know, Africa or New Zealand or Australia, Saudi Arabia, like all these under-serviced areas that just don't have servers or whatever, or populated servers. And then EU, they could have issues, but then East Coast, West, NA could be great because we got like 20 servers.
Yeah, obviously, like server stuff and like cheater stuff aside, like I put another clip in that group chat of Smith wall banging a building, and to me that is a huge issue right now. I feel like everything is you can shoot through, because I was playing ranked and I was getting shot like through an entire car.
Is it getting downs through that though, or is it like how much
I'm getting knocked?
Is it?
No, go watch, or whenever JD pulls up that clip, it's the Smith one he was playing yesterday. I was watching. He's using tracker and just literally shooting through walls, just hoping to get a ping, and then he gets like a knock through it. It's like actually insane. They just like I don't know. Like for me, I'm like, I don't think you could wallbang anything in Verdansk, and I think without smokes, this is going to be a lot more important because if you're trying to play cover and you're hiding behind a tree on Verdansk, if you could just shoot through the tree, what's the point? I think that for me is like, it's going to be a huge issue. So
yeah, they'll be able to figure it out.
Right. I think everything like wallbang, you should not be able to wallbang stuff. Like,
let me see this. Let me see this.
This clip is insane. He's just shooting, dude. He's just hoping he gets a ping. Look at this.
They took out tracker from rank. Thank God.
Oh, they did? When?
Today.
Look at this. So he gets a ping.
There was a
and
bug.
Then look at this. He is just wallbanging this and
100 round mag.
100 round mag.
To be fair, that's a window.
That's a window. JGOD, come on.
That's a window, though. What are you talking about? You can wall bang that in Verdansk.
Well, he's shooting through the wall as well, not even just the window.
That's a window right there.
That's a closed window. It's a closed window.
Well, you think window is bulletproof?
All right, go back. Watch the clip again. Watch the clip again. He's shooting through the wall.
He's saying like in general, like, bro, I don't recall and I don't know, But were guns always? Could you shoot through pretty much every element?
And I'm telling you, I was hiding behind a car, like not a moving car, like a static car, and I was getting. Look, he's shooting through the wall right there. That's a window.
He pinged. That's a regular ping there.
No,
He's only getting hit markers
first
through the open spaces.
No. He's not. Whenever he first gets hit, it's in between.
There's a door right there.
Look right, not there. Go see right now. On the right side.
That's
there,
a window.
That's combat scout.
Door. Window.
Yeah,
door.
No.
Window.
No, he gets live pinged not at the door. He gets live pinged between the door and the right window. Look, pause it right where he gets the first ping when he gets hit. Not there. As he transfers, right here, right there, boom. He gets it
he's behind the
in
wall.
between. He's behind the wall. Right now in the game, you can get any. I agree with Ebatez.
But the hit marker
everything.
looked like he hit him on the window, and the guy's moving. So then
Yeah, there's dog shit servers, JGOD. It's dog shit servers.
What are you talking about? It's through the window.
No,
I
okay.
pings him at the window.
No.
That's that. He's just pinging right there, and that one didn't hit. That left one. That's just
a
a
hit
live
right
ping.
there, and that's a live
hit.
ping.
Yes, but that's
We're
when
talking
he
about
shot
the
before.
first one. Yeah, we're talking about
Watch.
the first one.
Look where he gets pinged though, because right here he already shot on the left.
JD, go back to the very first time he gets hit. It's in between right here. As he's transferring from left to right here, boom. I know, right here. Fuck. Never mind.
It's the
We
next
went
one.
too far
Yeah,
back.
keep going.
It's in between. All we're trying to say here is that everything's wall bangable in this game, and that's true.
Right there, he was behind the wall.
So JD, if you can try to get it as soon as that thing pops up, it's in between the door and the window. So, like, bro, look, regardless, I agree with you, Ebatez. Right now, you can shoot through everything, bro. Keep going, and then you'll see it pop up as he transfers.
Yeah. Anyways, I was behind a car, and I know Sparrows was the one that killed me. I'd have to find
I think
the
it's
clip.
probably a good example. I don't like this example.
Yeah.
But
Okay, that's fine.
I
But
can
anyways,
agree with probably other areas.
Yeah.
I think this is a rough example.
The reason I said this is because I was listening to the clip too, and Smith was like, "Oh, it's paper thin." Like, you know, I've heard Soak use that call out too in like tournaments and customs, but like when they say paper thin, they just start shooting because it's like you can basically literally shoot through anything on this map. Which is again, if Verdansk is coming back, that's gonna be a huge issue because there's a lot of natural cover and like hedges, trees, anything, and I think if you can just shoot through everything, especially with Tracker Combat Scout, like that's gonna be a huge issue because it's just not gonna play the same. I feel like if you're in a building, you should be protected.
I wonder, I really don't remember. Like my memory's kind of chalked. For when Verdansk, was there like once you're in a building, could you shoot through it, or was it like no?
I think you could with specific if you ran FMJ.
Maybe with
but no one ran
FMJ.
FMJ.
Yeah,
Like default, right? Default, no.
Mm-hmm.
no.
There was a couple guns. I think LMGs had naturally higher bullet pen, so you could, but we didn't really run LMGs that much. I don't recall though.
Okay, also no Combat Scout back then.
Yeah,
True.
big difference.
Yeah, Caldera was the complete
But you
opposite.
did get hit markers. You would get hit markers, obviously, if you did. So you would just shoot the hit marker, like trace it.
But it wasn't like broken. Like if you wouldn't like trace somebody through a wall, like which is literally what he's doing right there.
Bro, Caldera was the absolute worst for this.
Yeah.
Caldera was quite literally insufferable. Like, bro, like you could, and then Combat Scout was introduced, which was crazy. Yeah. So I agree
just
with
think
you.
from competitive standpoint, you know, especially like I don't know, obviously like I'm a big ranked.
Yeah,
like, we watch World
the metal
Series,
fence was bulletproof sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude. So what other things apart from that are you guys like, okay, like again, servers on JD brought up the right post, but he highlighted the wrong thing. At the top of that, it said December 11th, we have made adjustments to server issues it said that we're causing a difference between what the server sees and what you see. And that was yesterday's update. Did you guys play yesterday? And did any of you guys?
I didn't play yesterday, no.
I played yesterday, and I don't want to sit here and say that it's fixed because I don't think I need more time on it. But talking to Diaz, he was like, bro, it actually feels like they did something.
Yeah.
Like, so Ebatez, did you see it or no?
I didn't.
Or did you play? Did you play right here? The first bullet.
I've played, but
I watched streams yesterday and people were complaining less. Yes.
Okay. So I'm curious to see what like play it more and see if it fixed. But from what my understanding, from what I felt, I definitely did feel like I was getting less quote unquote ghost bullets. But again, I think I could be placebo, but it said resolve some cases that could result in mismatched player animations between the client and server, targeting Warzone, high player count, multiplayer matches, and zombies. So I'm assuming the more players you have, maybe this messes up more, but like I noticed a little bit of a difference. Is it fixed? I don't think so, but it definitely is better, right? So now it's like what things need to change for the game to feel quote unquote ready for Verdansk, right? Like that, not even for the game to be quote unquote, what would you say, good, but we know player count is going to drastically increase when Verdansk comes back. We know that that's inevitable, right? What needs to happen from now until then to make it to where, when everybody comes back, because we know what's going to happen, what does the game need to get to that point?
I actually have a few things in my notes, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, in general, just from like a player standpoint, I think 150 players, great vehicles, none of this bob and sway stuff, like balanced metas. I mean, you could come out with like some crazy guns too. I would vouch if Verdansk drops, like throw in like a crazy HDR, like high bullet velocity sniper in there, just even if it's like for a week and then they have to like tone it back just to give people like that feel again if they want to drop prison and snipe from like 400 meters away. I don't know, just stuff like that. Like you just got to give people like the nostalgia effect, especially like off rip. Just give it that nostalgia. The OG gulag.
So, okay, I want to get into this. I do, because I think this is a good topic of discussion, but I want to backtrack real quick. I'm talking about right now in the game, like changes that need to be made for the current game to be ready for Warzone. What do you guys think the game needs? Obviously, cheaters, we're going to bring up cheaters, right? I'll be honest, bro.
Every time.
Every time. I don't know,
we need that guy from Valorant.
I will say that I think a lot of people are leaning towards one of the common complaints that I see a lot of Warzone big map enjoyers say is that it feels too much like Resurgence. So it's about tuning, maybe so there's more player counts but less ways to come back.
Okay.
Whether the buy station instead of the cost, maybe it's an extra 500, maybe get rid of gulag tokens, get rid of go again, get rid of
he's cooking. Hold up.
Buyback. What the hell is the other one? Resurgence. What's the
redeploy
packs? Those aren't in the game. I don't
those are gone. Those are gone.
No, but I'm saying in general, like that little like line of thinking, and then you to offset that, because obviously the lobbies will die incredibly fast with 120. You do 150. And then maybe you adjust zones to accommodate for the 150.
Bunny hopping.
Because I think what ends up happening is if you add 150 players, the lobby will die quick too, because then everyone lands on top of each other because the zone collapses too quick. So the first zone maybe needs to be a minute longer if you're going to up the. I mean, there's a lot. That's design decisions though. Like that doesn't make them right or wrong. They would just be different, right?
I like what JGOD said. Like, I think they've tried to like add gulag tokens, flares, redeploy packs, like go-agains, because they want players to have a more chance to come back. So they that's why they decrease the player count. But I like the flip side of that, where it's like increase the player count, but have less ways to come back, so that we have like this healthy balance of actually giving it a BR feel, rather than just saying, oh, well, because there's more ways to come back, the lobbies will stay healthy. It's like, we don't care about, I mean, lobby, how healthy a lobby stays is important, obviously, but that's less important to the overall game experience, in my opinion. So I think that would be great. I was looking at our DMs, because I sent it a little bit back, like last week. Buybacks back in Verdansk were 4,500. Self-revives were 4,500. Muni boxes were 5,000 and armor boxes were 6,000.
But those got changed pretty quickly. Those did get changed pretty quickly, because it was relatively bad that you could only carry 5 plates, and the munition,
I agree.
It was too much. It was a bad balance.
I'm just giving perspective. PAs were 3,500. I think mortars were like 3,000. Gas masks were 3,000. And then a plate armor bundle was 1,500, which was 5, which is exactly what we have now, 300 per plate, which is great. And then I think the contract thing that I think JGOD brought up last time would be great. Like scaling contracts would be awesome. Again, because I think it just makes the overall game feel a little bit different, where, you have money at the beginning where you have to like actually loot and get like a loadout. And then end game, your money exponentially grows if you keep doing contracts. You kind of get rewarded for doing, I don't know,
there's
for like
an
looting.
investment.
Yeah, there's an investment there. It's like, hey, if we do contracts now, guys, like late game, we do a bounty, we'll have a lot more money. So it kind of like scales a little bit better, which might help pace of play. I think, I don't know.
We keep coming back to the Verdansk, bro.
I know.
We keep going back.
Because in my opinion, I think these are like, let's be real, like, I'm not gonna say it's chalk the next 3 or 4 months. Let's say Verdansk comes in like March is kind of what we're all like assuming. But like these next 3 months, man, we're probably not gonna get much. Like I feel like we're not. Like I think they're really not gonna get much.
That's why I want to give the feedback.
I think there's gonna be a lot of
Right.
changes probably.
Like,
We'll
I
probably
think
get
there
changes,
will.
but I think these changes would be great now, so that like when Verdansk does come back, then we'll already have them. Like the scale, like the contract scaling.
I do have
Gloves.
another thought that we haven't really talked about,
Okay.
and we've kind of like just ignored is the satchels. I think they're kind of trash.
Okay.
The satchel system is trash.
You know, I
Like I'm gonna be vocal
It's like a
with
mini
it.
backpack.
Hot
It's
take,
like a mini backpack.
I agree, but I feel like the variance between the good version and the basic version is trash. Like
okay.
the fact that you can only hold a small, like 6 plates, feels like trash.
You know, I agree to that shit. I agree because yesterday I was like, bro, like I have no plates. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, guys, let me know if you guys have if you find a plate satchel. You know, so I agree to that. And even munition satchels.
And the ammo, and I think being able to stow 4 tacticals,
Yes.
It's
that's
insane.
the problem with the backpacks.
That's backpacks.
I think
I agree.
ammo, though, I do agree ammo could be a little bit of an issue.
Yes.
Especially with the munitions being a problem. But I don't like the system at all.
They fix
feel
mini
like
boxes
it
now.
should
I think
be-
mini boxes give max now.
I think it should scale where you get 8, and then if we're gonna get the backpack with thing, we'll get 12, right? So
Actually,
8 is 12
Hector,
instead of 6.
Hector, you don't have any plates because you're getting wall banged through everything, man. You're getting shot through buildings.
Plating. And then the ammo one, I think they should just chalk it. I know that's a wild card, but I think they should just chalk it and then up the ammo by like 50% or something by default.
Bro, what if they did?
But I know that's a hot take.
Actually, dude, I feel like that's not a hot take. Like,
That's not a hot
truly,
take.
I think, you know, do raise default plates up to 8. I low key think that would be fire because I do find myself constantly struggling to find plates. Like if I don't have a satchel, right? So that's one. And then, but 2, I think munitions, the munition satchel should not let you carry 4 tactical lethals.
It lets you carry 4 tactical lethals and 2 UAVs and 2 util boxes. Like if you had a util box, you could hold 2. That's like broken. Like it's literally backpack
so
system.
broken.
I feel like
It's so
it should
broken.
just be, in my opinion, let me know if you guys like this.
You guys haven't seen the video by Jam Cow probably, right?
No.
Oh yeah, it's broken.
So, okay, do you guys think, what about this? Don't touch the armor satchel, but just raise default plates to 8, right? And then the way you fix munition boxes, bro, or a munition satchel, literally just make it to where it's just ammo.
It's only ammo, not lethals, not tacticals. I agree, 100%.
What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that'd be balanced?
I love that.
JGOD, do you think that'd be balanced if they just did ammo?
But I still think the ammo needs to be up in general.
Like you think from like 210, like and 150 SMG, like you think that default or ammo satchel?
Rifle needs to be just higher in general base default.
Or default or with the satchel? Okay, default.
I think default, yeah.
Okay. All right. I actually, you know what, JGOD? I didn't realize how bad it was an issue.
Why do we hate lethals and tacticals? Because we're playing a first-person shooter.
Yeah, I don't like lethals and tacticals either. But like, yeah, having 2 is fine of each. Like off rip, that's default.
Yep.
I don't like having like 4 each, because then you just spam. And if you have a munitions box, you get, what's that, 8? And that's each. So you can, if everybody has the satchel and you have a munitions box, that is
a lot.
8 times 3. You know?
24.
You know what I'm saying? You know, they fixed the buy station. What buy station, Mills? What buy station did they fix? 8 times 3, 320. Yeah, something like that. Chat numbers.
Oh
numbers, bro.
yeah, 4 stims. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
So
I agree with that.
okay, that's actually good feedback. I actually did not think of that, JGOD. And you know, recollecting my memory from yesterday, it was actually a problem because like if you didn't have it, if you didn't have a satchel, you notice it.
Feels
Like
like
it's
the
burden.
Warzone 2 effect, where it's like you have a 2-plater instead of 3. Like, even though that didn't last very long, that's how it feels. Even though you do have 3 plates, you know, like for me personally.
Okay. All right. Now I guess I'll say it I'll say it right. For me, what I think needs to just be addressed now, and I feel like we're pretty close to being in a good spot for Verdansk, where people are gonna come back and they're not gonna be like, oh my god, what the fuck is wrong? Obviously, servers, big issue. As we're gonna have to give it some more testing to see if they actually fixed the servers, right? Cheaters, we know cheaters. I'll be honest, bro. I've given up all hope.
Yeah,
I know that sounds insane. I've given up all hope. I feel like Ricochet doesn't actually exist. From shadow bans to regular cheaters, bro. I play ranked. Pubs, not so much of an issue. Ranked, brother, every single game. I'm not trolling. I'm not even kidding. I know, oh, you streamers exaggerate. No, bro. Like,
Brother,
like
I died to Vexo in ranked yesterday, bro. I'm not kidding. Vexo, the guy that hacked in World Series, LCQs. I died to him yesterday, bro.
Brother, like, it's bad. I don't think they're ever gonna fix the cheater issues. I don't think, Ricochet actually exists. I'm not even gonna begin to talk about it because I'm gonna get checked. I'm gonna get fucking checked. But in my opinion, the things that need changing are mantling speeds need to be reverted to Modern Warfare 3, right? Make the game feel the way it felt a month ago, as far as that goes. Weapon swap speeds, I still feel are an issue. They're still pretty slow.
Yep.
And reloading speeds across the board are still pretty slow. Apart from that, I feel like it's close to being in an okay state to where when Verdansk comes back, people will be pretty happy. But again, now there are changes that can make the game feel different, make the game feel slower. And I think that has a lot to do with the core mechanics of what they've turned BR into a glorified resurgence. Now, Ebatez, talk to me. But or unless you like from what the game has now, how do you guys feel right now?
For me, the game, I get frustrated with this. I obviously, like, example again, the wall banging stuff. It's just like, I'm just trying to think about what do we have now that I don't like that can bring us back to that like OG feel, like what like really made it. And I think vehicles a huge one. Like I feel like the balloons and all the nonsense, the horrible vehicles we have now is just crazy.
I was gonna ask about your live pinging perk. So obviously they're not gonna get rid of the perk,
right?
And they're not gonna get rid of that benefit. So the solution would be to just half the times, right? Because I think right now it goes from 3 to 6 seconds depending on the distance of the target.
Well, the problem right now too is cold-blooded doesn't work against it. It's completely it's bugged.
That too,
which they took it out of the game.
Doesn't work on any tracker. So, so what would be your solution to solve the perk? Because you can't get rid of it.
Don't make everything able to get shot through that shouldn't be, like buildings and like trees and stuff like that.
But the actual pinging, do you think it should just be half the time?
No, I think the pinging's fine, honestly. It's just when I get behind cover and I'm still getting shot at, and it's just like, well, what's the point? It's like,
somebody said
it wouldn't be that broken. It wouldn't be that broken if you're in the open and like you're getting live ping. Like that's fine. If you're in the open, like it's basically just a live ping. Or if you're in smoke, then like that's the counter to smoke.
Simba said in chat, and I don't completely disagree with that. What do you guys think? Is like, as long as you're not behind cover, then it doesn't work. But then would that make the perk completely useless? Or like,
it would almost make it useless.
Yeah, I'd make it useless. Like if you get shot and you run behind cover, that's fine. I just hope that stuff that shouldn't be able to get shot through, you shouldn't be able to get shot through. Like if you're laying behind a wall, you should die through like a nade.
No way.
See, like this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
This is a great example. This is a great example.
Hey, that's a good example.
That's like that's insane. And that's with an SMG. That's with an SMG.
He's interrogating too. That's funny. So you can see through the wall.
So this is like what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, everything on this game, it's not even just a one map. Even Area 99, everything is so broken. Like you can shoot through literally anything with any gun. So
wait, oh my god.
Yeah, that's concrete right there.
Yeah. So another thing too, like I said, I think this will
concrete.
A big fix to this would be like 60 round ARs, and then make LMGs, have like a really slow like penalty if you're like either a high ADS or slow reload or something. Just kind of give like LMGs the feel. Like separate LMGs from ARs too. Like what I mean? I think that's right now if you use an XM4 versus like an LMG, you can't really tell the difference. I mean, they're just too like similar in those aspects. But yeah, I don't know. That's like a couple examples. I'll think of more. But yeah, Jago.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Like tell me what else? Because like again, the goal is to try to get this game in the best position before Verdansk comes back. And again, I don't know if there's.
I think loadout costs got to be lower. I know that's a hot take too, but for quads particularly.
Okay. Okay,
'Cause I feel
quads.
like-
So what? Would it be 12.5 or 10?
10. I think it should still do the scaling, like the 7.5, 10, 10. That's it. 10, 10, 10 for all other modes. 7.5 for solos, 10, 10 for everything else. Because it was 10 for everything back in the day, but that was a little too punishing for solos. So I think even 7.5 for solos, and then 10 for all the other modes.
Okay. All right. I actually kind of fuck with that. I kind of fuck with that. Like, yeah, I don't know, bro. Like again, a big part of, and hear me out. Maybe I'm cooking, maybe I'm faded, but right now the game with the last update, if you haven't played the game in the last 2 days or a day, like you got to play it, right? This last update has really brought the needle forward, in my opinion, to where there's a couple stuff left for it to do for the game to be in quote unquote a very decent spot, right? Yes, we still got to fix cheaters. Yes, you still got to fix servers, right? But from a foundational standpoint, which again, games shouldn't be released unless the foundation is good. From a foundational standpoint, it's close. Now the game as a whole, still, I feel like, boys, a lot of it has to do with, again, it not feeling like a BR.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a big part of what people don't like about the game. It doesn't feel like a BR, and that's different, right? Like if they fix man-to-tank speeds, if they fix reload speeds, weapon swap speeds, and we have, I think after that we have a pretty good foundation. After that, then they have to start focusing on the actual things to make the game fun again, right? Think about the events that we had in Verdansk. Why? Because they didn't have to focus on integrating. They could only focus on cooking because the game was they had however many years to make Warzone. And when the game came out, all they had to do was make it better. Right? Like all that was added things. Like think about Nakatomi Tower, bro. Think about Red Doors. Think about all these things that they added to the game because they didn't have to focus on fixing it. Bro, Warzone last year, Modern Warfare 3, we had 0 POI changes. 0.
Yeah, it's insane. It's actually sad. And then they had Superstore at the end of the year and took it out.
Yeah. Why? Because they were focused on fixing the game. When you don't have to focus on fixing the game, you don't have to put time into fixing the game, you can focus on cooking.
I hope the good things that we used to have. So I hope the good things we used to have just kind of like make a return. And like one of those things, as an example too, I was just thinking about this. The sound when you self-revive absolutely needs to come back. That is such a heartbreaking, like how many times somebody self-revive on you and you're like, oh my God, they self-revived on me. And it's like, dude, the sound that used to like that, like really loud, like, I don't even, it was like a ding or like some kind of like, oh man, I don't remember the OG sound of like the self-revives, but that needs to come back for sure. Like you need to hear someone like put the needle in and like the, like the, and then plus the zoo or whatever when they self-revive, like that should definitely come back. And then I sent in the group chat that funny graphic that we saw earlier.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this graphic. So it's a funny laugh.
One thing too is on that topic of like it's gonna go through the different games is that I think like what you were mentioning is that like they can't do fun stuff if they're focused on fixing the game.
Right.
So like obviously the more things they can do, and I think that's one like for example, obviously it was a mode geared towards sweats generally, which was Iron Trials or Titanium Trials rather. It had its own set of rewards. The game was actually in a pretty good spot at that time during Caldera. So realistically, that's the only reason we got a mode like that.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm talking to the devs that found like, oh, cool. We had a couple people work on like the thought process on how to build this, the design of the skins, the design of the cosmetics, and they were able to cook because the game was in a really good spot around that time of the year. And I think it allows them to cook once they get things on board. And I think by the time Verdansk comes out, it's going to be insane how much progress the game has, and it'll be in a good spot. I know that during like way back, like it would be unlikely, but we're very close to kind of like how Warzone 1 was. Like, yeah.
And I know some people, again, I agree with you, JGOD, that like some people will always be negative no matter what we say. But if you look at it from like from an actual objective standpoint, like, bro, what else is there to do right now? Like the biggest thing for me was visual recoil, Sway and Bob. Yeah, fix the jumping like you said, like we addressed earlier.
Bunny hopping.
We are pretty close to Warzone 1.
Crazy.
Like we are, if you really think about it.
And not only that, better than in some ways.
Some ways, yeah. Audio, I agree. Audio still ass. Obviously, again, bear with us when it comes to audio because we do play. I think JGOD's probably the only one that can really attest to this because we play on PC with like, you know, loudness EQ, et cetera, et cetera. JGOD just goes in raw. You know what I'm saying?
I watched Swag upload a video the other day. It was an hour-long video of him playing Verdansk, and the audio footsteps sounded amazing. And also, when he dropped plates, it was like that ding, 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 ding. Like every time he dropped it, it was like that sound. Like audio in general was just so simple, and the things that you needed to hear or wanted to hear was so satisfying. Like again, the whole self-revive audio stuff. So that's kind of what I hope we get back to, dude. None of this tunnel, like whoosh, you know, like all these like weird sounds that you, because I just think it just fucks everything up.
Yeah, I agree, man. Now let's end it with Verdansk, right?
Yep.
Thoughts on what changes do you guys think, or what things need to come with Verdansk? I'll start off with one of the questions I said we're going to circle back to. Is, in my opinion, guys, they will be selling the fucking bag if they do not introduce OG guns. And hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to say this because. Let me know if I'm cooking. I don't want a fucking conversion kit to make my gun into a better, you know, whatever. No, I want a brand new gun that says AMAX.
Yes,
I think
yes.
I'm not a blueprint.
There's a little bit of a problem with this one, though.
Talk to me.
So BO6 already has their strategy for the guns they want to put out. And Warzone won't have their own guns. So I think that technically they could actually make hot drops
with those guns.
Yes.
Hot drops.
He's saying like, yeah, if you drop super, then you like enter a code and it gives you 4 AMAXs like in the locker room or something. That's the only way. I mean,
and they'd be meta or some shit. That could be OD fun.
Because a lot of other BRs do that. Like a lot of like Fortnite does that.
Hey,
where you can only get like
and they bring weapons.
Okay, I'm
but
down.
I think you wouldn't be able to level it, get camos, whatever. They would just be like probably mastery camo on a kilo.
Fuck it.
Because those guns will not be added. If they're not already on the roadmap for BO6, they're not going to happen.
Come on, man.
Well, I'm thinking it from a realistic logic standpoint. I do agree that like those blueprints would go crazy, but I don't see it realistically happening. I'm being realistic.
If I, you know, could hopefully, you know, give maybe they watch this and maybe in season 6 we get something, right? But I would want them to bring back Kilo, Growl, you know, OTS, like all these things that make like, but actually bring back the guns.
MP5.
Bruin. I hated that gun.
And you know what they could do with the MP5? They could do the blueprint thing where it's a part of the battle pass. The C9 converts to the OG whatever. Yeah. Obviously, they like Treyarch has their own vision, but I don't know how that's the problem. Is they share the same battle pass, so maybe it'd be like they got there, and then this would just be tacked on. You know what I mean?
For CDL gatekeeping
so it doesn't take away.
World Series now freaking multiplayer's gatekeeping Warzone. Come on, man! Like, come on, man!
No. Like again, FFR.
I think they're selling the bags.
Speeds. Oh, straight speeds.
If they don't bring back the Growl with the OG, oh shit, what the fuck happened?
You're good.
If they don't bring back the Growl with OG Archangel iron sights, like bro, I'm telling you, like they could really fuck this up. Like they could add a blueprint and that doesn't look the same, but it looks somewhat similar, and they call it the Growl, and people are gonna be fucking pissed. Like I'm telling you right now, don't fuck with people's nostalgia. All right,
oh gosh,
bring back the OG guns, and if you can't, even if it has to be aftermarket part or whatever, right? That's a conversion kit, whatever you call it. But just make it look exactly like the OG guns. Because if you give me, oh, this is the Kilo, and my Kilo looks like a fucking, I don't fucking know, like a Lockman 762, I'm be checked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You agreed or disagree?
Oh, facts. You're cooking.
Okay, all right.
Hope explained to me that apparently the MP5 from 2019 is trademarked. So specifically that version, they couldn't use unless they paid for the rights or something.
Oh my fucking gosh.
That is insanity.
Ghost of Hope?
Yeah.
Oh, if he said it, I believe it.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. He said the ring or whatever is trademark.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Wait. So the ring with the sting in the middle is trademarked.
That's
the actual gun
I don't
itself.
know. That's crazy.
Bro, I'm the
Because I hate,
one.
That's insane.
bro, these C9 iron sights, I fucking despise them. I literally hate
That's
them.
insane. I didn't know you could do that.
Bro.
Wow. Okay, so we're gatekeeping loadouts. Nice.
How expensive are these trademarks? Are we talking like a couple thou? Or are we talking like a couple hundred thou? You know what I'm saying?
That's actually insanity.
That I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, is a growl real gun? Is that trademarked?
Imagine.
Is the AMAX a real gun? Is the Kilo a real gun? You know?
That's actually insane, bro.
Wow. Okay, I hope that's
Whatever
true.
they
That
can
sucks.
do, I hope they crush it. Obviously, they know that those things would sell. They'd make a ton of money, which
Oh,
automatically makes it like.
We
and
love that
players
word.
would be happy, right? Like both.
I love that word. Say it again, JGOD. Money.
Yeah.
Bring back the AMAX. Adrian, you should be asleep, bro. Go to bed, man. Yeah, okay. Now, I guess to kind of conclude the pod, fellas, things that should come back to Verdansk, or what are some changes you want to see made? Or even, we talked about this a little bit at the end of the last podcast, things that you don't want to come back, right?
We should show the Iceman Isaac clip because I think that's super important as far as like visual
the bob,
clarity,
jump,
the bob and sway
Oh,
jump
yes,
one.
yes.
I think fixing that would be awesome. Maybe even add bunny hopping again would be great if possible. I know Matt hates it, so we'll see. But
You know,
know.
he doesn't make that.
just kidding. And please don't put it under a perk. I think unlimited tack sprint would be great. I know we have the knife.
I think that it should be unlimited by default, and if you pull out the knife, you should move faster.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if you have the knife, it still gives that knife the value.
Even if it's like 15% faster with the knife.
Right.
I mean, whatever.
I'll say this real quick, side note. And these are like little things. Right now that the game's pretty close, the foundation is pretty close to being in a good spot. Like when we can start addressing the little things. Like, for example, one bug I found yesterday, or not bug, I've known about it for a while, but I made a video about it yesterday, is that you're, for some reason, and I hate the change, your inventory memory is off. Lucky, what are you doing, bro? Your inventory memory, like so let's say you bring out your inventory and you move.
Dude.
They just patched that.
So every time
Literally
you open
just
it,
right now.
every time you open it, it goes back to the first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
Inventory slot reset and
They just patched that. Literally while we've been on the pod.
oh, listen, chat. I'm telling you right now, feedback fucking matters.
They're
All right.
cooking.
Hey, and did they fix the buy station one too?
I don't know if it's the buy station one. I didn't read it thoroughly. They did tweet something out though. Let me see.
Yeah, let me see if they brought that up.
Says we've deployed a fix for an issue where the quick inventory would start on a previously selected slot rather than resetting to the leftmost slot.
Oh
It doesn't
my
say anything
God.
about the buy station.
Let's go.
Now, no buy station fix.
It doesn't say buy station, but it could be built into that.
Okay, I see that. Okay, chat. So say the same thing happens for your buy station as well. Like it'll sometimes put you on gear and it'll sometimes put you on weapon. So like yesterday it messed me up.
Your muscle memory.
My muscle memory is just off.
What'd you
Hey.
buy instead of the right thing?
Dude,
They
I
gotta
got a
bring back-
$6,000 gun, JGOD. I'm checked, bro.
OG buy station, because the shit we have now, it's so hard to see like what you're selecting. I'm down for the vertical OG buy station where it just has the names, and then someone I talked to somebody about this the other day, brought up a good point. If you wanted to buy your guns, you could hit like R1 where it like opened up another
about to ask you
menu
that.
where your guns. That would be sick. I sent like, dude, I drew this out like years ago. I'm not even kidding. Like way back in like Warzone 2, I drew it on like a piece of paper, but that would be perfect. Using like R1 or like clicking onto a different page
That's how
for
it
like
was
guns.
in Plunder back then. You were able to tab through L1, R1 at the buy station.
OG buy station.
I like that. Like, do you think that it's possible to bring back the OG buy station UI?
For sure. I mean, yeah, if we can have JD, I'll send him a link. We should just look at the OG buy station and see like what's missing.
Okay.
I'll send it to him right
Alright.
now.
Okay. There's that, right? So there's the OG buy station. There's well, again, I'm hopeful, right? But maybe it's copium. I don't know if it'll ever happen, chat. But floating loot, you know, that I feel like people would love, and it would feel like OG.
That'd be sick.
What else? What else? I guess this one's a good one, bro. Which I think I talked about a little on the pod. Do you guys think? And because again, the big question is how OG do people want OG? Because there's been changes that have been made to Warzone that are actually good, and then there's been bad things. Obviously, a lot of bad things have been added to Warzone. So when we go back to OG Verdansk, right? Do we want back dead silence? Do we want back stopping power?
No.
Do we want to be able to buy individual guns at the buy station? Or will that make the gameplay too fast that it doesn't feel like a BR, right? These are all questions that I want everybody's opinion. Talk to me.
I agree. There's a lot of things that they added that are great. Like we didn't have like vertical zips, I believe, back in Verdansk. The horizontal zips are pretty cool too if they're like intentional. Like I think there's like some parts of Verdansk that like would be like, I don't know, like for example, let me say like ATC Tower. I like the vibe of ATC where it's like you kind of know if somebody's up there, they're just like a rat. Like they were like bouncing betties, whatever. Yeah. So if they add too many ways to get back up there, it's kind of like, oh, what's the point of going up there anymore, you know? So like, yes, vertical zips in my opinion are great, but don't add too many of them where it like kind of ruins like the OG feel of like the game. Like I think the great thing about ATC Tower was that like people were sniping up there, they're rats. And if you like zipped up and killed one or something, it was like hype. So I don't know. I think there's things that, yes, they should definitely add to kind of like up the flow of the game. But
yeah, for example, like the building where you have to go up 12 flights of stairs. Yeah, that should probably have a zip.
Right.
That one, the big one downtown, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to take the stairs, like I know in Warzone 2, that giant high-rise building, if you wanted to take the stairs, like you could, you know, but you could also take a zip. So give people like, you know, some options, but without ruining like the flow of the game.
Like, so I wonder now, we talked about this a little bit, is what about portable balloons or balloons in general, right? Like, again, I'm curious to see, I'm torn on this one because, right, like I loved fast-paced gameplay, right? But then I also want the game to feel like a BR, right? And I feel like Verdansk had that feel. I didn't feel like I was just like struggling to find people all the time. I feel like, you know, there was rotations and you knew how to play it. And if you wanted gunfights, you could get into them, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that balloons is almost too fast to where it's negatively affecting the way the game feels, right? Should we place emphasis on these cars, on mobility, right? Or, you know, like, do you like, does it frustrate you that you're getting landed on by parachutes? So what do you guys think?
I think balloons should just get taken out, especially off the rip. Like give us that OG feel and like use cars again and like kind of like go off of that. And then if they want to introduce them later, if the game needs it, then go ahead. But I really think that no balloons would be great, in my opinion.
Okay. JGOD, what about you?
I don't have a big opinion on the balloons. I think they're fine. But it really depends on the balance of the vehicles, right? You want to make the like you have to. I'm sure the data says that people aren't using vehicles one reason or another. Like it's got to be a little bit of a balance. Maybe C4 can blow them up in one, so then you'd be encouraged to use a trophy system, but then make trophy system a common field upgrade. So you have that cycle of gameplay loop. Like cool, let's find a trophy. Let's jump in the car. Let's move. And that dynamic is encouraged by being able to find those materials. You're like, I can't go in the vehicle unless I get a trophy. So then you're building that dynamic. If somebody wants to play that way, they can. And then the balloon could be the backup if you don't find a trophy or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, bro, look at how insane this was. Look at how maneuverable this was, bro.
So
like, bro,
good. So
like
good.
obviously there's got to be a balance. And I think that's hard to strike. But I feel like the vehicles being crazy, like good, is better than them feeling like trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like
even if they're like, oh,
so,
shoot, they ran me over, end zone got ruined by whatever. It's like one of those things.
Before Ebatez, you say this, I just want to add my quote unquote middle ground here. And again, I don't know, right? I feel like I cannot give feedback on this unless I play the game, right? I think everything should come back as OG as possible with the best amount of quality of life improvements, obviously. And then from there you add. But if they do want to add balloons, I feel like there shouldn't be static balloons. If anything, buy them in the buy station, use it to rotate. And that's the only way that you use balloons. Thoughts on that being kind of a middle ground this year?
I kind of think like the other way. Like I think if they're gonna do balloons, do static, so that way they're predictable. I think the problem for me is when I play, I'm like, if you shoot out a balloon, a static one, then you know where they're either the next one's gonna spawn, or you know that you're safe because you shot a balloon, so you can't get ballooned on. Whereas like porta balloons for me in general, I just like feel like people would I'd shoot one out and then people would throw one down, and the next thing you're like, oh, we just shot out the balloon, but people are just randomly on you. So I think that for me, I'm kind of opposite, but.
Okay. I see your opinion. I see that. Right, but you can make them shootable, right?
Right. Shootable.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now what were you gonna say before that? Sorry.
Oh, somebody brought up a good point. Like with OG Verdansk or like OG Warzone was shooting in the air, like shooting in the sky, like off drop with pistols.
I love that.
I thought it was fun. I thought
that gave me max dope.
For customs, like competitive side, I thought it was bad, but I thought for pubs it was max dope.
That was max dope. And I'm be honest, bro. Again, this is one of those things where I think it affects the casuals more than it affects us. We like it, but I think casuals would hate it.
Right. Because it's like they don't shoot people out of the air.
I feel like the biggest problem with that initially, why it was a problem, was because then it discouraged stretching. Like from,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Plane.
Yeah, because anytime you try to pull your chute, you just got shot. So it would encourage a lot of people to just land like close instead of like having to like stretch out and spread out the map.
So maybe like the first drop, they make it so that you can't use it, but then beyond that you could. Because then when the hell are you actually floating and are gonna shoot? Not that often. Or make it so that you can't ADS, or I don't know. There's ways they could do it. But either way, I think it's fine with this current system. I liked shooting people out of the sky, but I understand that it doesn't allow for the players to disperse well enough.
The Caldera, like where you could like use your loadout in the air, was OD. That was OD.
Pistols,
pistols are like pretty. I feel like pretty fair. Except I get it. Like what JGOD brought up a really good point is that it made the map kind of shrink in a sense where people couldn't stretch. And even if they did stretch, then they'd get shot of the air and you would probably die.
Or what they do is on the first drop, you just make it so there's spawn protection or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It said bunkers gone.
Bunker busters or bunkers?
Bunker busters. Oh. Wait, they said bunkers, but if it was bunker busters, I'd say gone.
I don't know. Bunker busters for me are like...
They're good now. I think they got nerfed.
They're kind of the only way. I hate them, but...
And buffed. But I think they're trying to figure out how to make them work.
They need to nerf the gas time. Like the time of the gas ticking needs to get lowered. But in general, I think it's pretty good for people that camp on rooftops. It's like one of the only ways you can actually fight someone in a building. Like, because when you would PA someone in Verdansk, they would just run in a building and sit there. Oh, PA's done. Okay, we'll come back out. But bunkers, they have to actually move. So.
Yeah, bunker busters. Okay, he meant bunker busters. Yeah, okay. Tell me what you guys think about this. Would this negatively impact the game if there was, no matter what, a set spot to get specialist? I don't like getting in the buy station. I think it's kind of whack. My opinion, no other way to get specialists other than extremely rare and loot maybe. But there is an event every single game that some type of specialist you can get it, like Nakatomi Tower, but there's only 4 on the map. Only 4. Like, right? You die, it drops on death, but there's a consistent way to get it if you want, which would create hot drops, which we don't have hot drops, right? Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Like some type of Nakatomi Tower vibe.
It's kind of hard to do that. I think the Nakatomi works if we're gonna do if that's gonna be on the map and there's a specific POI. But I think the idea of maybe there's a new loot crate or chest loot. Where, like, when you open this one, it does spit out the specialist, and it has to be on a hot drop. And they could rotate the hot drop, like the way Apex does. Yeah. The way Apex does, it'll be like this region. One of the chests in this region will have specialist.
Right. Yeah. Like only. Okay. So, but right now, Rebirth still has it, right?
What do you mean?
Rebirth still has. You can get specialist every game if you want, right? Rebirth?
Yeah, you have to grab the key card.
Yeah. So obviously, I feel like it's been proven that they can do it, right? I don't necessarily like the way we do it because you have
spots.
to you gotta go from like one side of the thing to the other, right? But I feel like Nakatomi Tower was so fun, and again, there's only 4 on the map, so like it's not incredibly broken, and if you die, it drops. So you're gonna give it to whoever they get it, right? Like whoever gets it, right? So like, I don't know, having it on, in my opinion, having it by station, I don't know, it's kind of whack. I don't like it. I miss having to drop stuff. Oh my god. JD, the nostalgia, man.
Floating loot.
Floating loot.
Oh, also, do you guys think the new perks are kind of weird when they drop? They look like ammo boxes sometimes to me.
Yeah, I'm
They
used
look
to it
like
now.
C4
But
almost, right?
I don't like it.
Have you noticed now that now that you know which perks you have, can you check it in the inventory or not?
Yeah.
yeah, you can check it. I noticed that. But you know, do you guys like that you can't drop your perks anymore?
I think it's fine.
Like if you wanted to.
I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine.
I don't think I ever found myself dropping perks.
If you do get a loadout with the perks you've already picked up, it'll kick those perks out.
Right. Okay.
One thing I think UI based is a lot of people don't know when they have the vest, the two vests that we were talking about earlier. Instead of doing a little icon, just do a gold ring around the plates, right? Like in the inventory.
Way easier.
Just do a gold like out. So
like
right now when you have the plate one, it does a little satchel with the little plus sign that the size of a dot right next to the plates. What it should do is just do a gold outline of that. Maybe keep the same icon, but like actually make a gold thing about it so you can actually see it. And the ammo one, it's right next to your ammo, like on your gun. It's a little tiny icon.
Yeah, you can't even see it.
You can't see it. So I don't know. There's some visibility issues with that stuff. I think like obviously those are minor things. They're not priority, but yeah, those would be like just nice things. Maybe being able to adjust the UI so that we can make our kill feed bigger so that Lucky Shamu doesn't need to zoom out his screen and do double. Like that should just be a quality of life thing, you know?
Yeah, make it bigger. Yeah. I mean, bro, it's great. I like that you said it's a minor thing because we're finally getting to the point where we're headed in the right direction where now we can focus on the small things. We can focus on the little things that we did go backwards in, right? Like there's a lot of shit. When you picked up a satchel in Warzone 1, your plates were gold, right? The number of plates was gold, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like you could tell when you had a satchel. And that's like subconsciously. You could use your peripherals to see that. Here, right now, you don't. I'll be honest. I don't know why I have 12 unless I have 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, man. That's kind of for me. I feel like I know it sucks, but I want to see what version of Verdansk they come out with and how it all feels and what things they add to it before I get feedback on what should or shouldn't be in the game. Just because, like,
we already talked about audio. You missed it.
Yeah, Kevin. Sorry about being there, bro. But yeah, boys. I mean, you know, anything else that you guys, you know, want to add to this?
The only two things. Well, I sent I think we should look at that funny graphic, the collapse of Warzone one.
Yeah,
and then,
JD, we never saw Isaac's.
Oh,
tweet.
and Isaac's, and then I put also a screenshot in the group chat of the OG buy station of like what it looked like. I guess those three things I'd be down to talk about real quick. This is hilarious, bro. I can't lie. I laughed at this.
All right, chat. So let me try to squeeze in here. Let me see this, guys. So the collapse of Warzone, right? First of all, let's take a quick mention at the top. If you look at the very top, and in big parentheses, cheaters. They've been in the game throughout its entire cycle, right? So right here, it says the collapse of Warzone, and then 2020 to 2021 was only lacking in increased health, ranked mode with bans to uncompetitive weapons and equipment and proximity chat. W game. Can we all agree on that? We all agree on that?
Pretty much.
I feel like I can agree on that. You know, then Warzone Caldera, you know, attempted to remove loadouts, but they were thankfully brought back after Swag sacrificed one of his ass cheeks. Over 50% of the map was at an incline because of giant volcano in the middle. Still don't know why they did that, right? Map was covered in bushes and vegetation. Definitely we were down bad. We were down bad. Then we thought there's no way this could get worse, right? 2023 happened. Warzone 2.0. Almost. Should I even read this, fellas?
You can just go over like the, remove slide canceling.
I'm reading it. I want us to all remember this. I'm reading it. Removed slide canceling. Slowed down every animation. Added AI to BR mode. Introduced improved realism features like weapon inertia and strafing reticle sway, which disappropriately affected mouse and keyboard users. Sound familiar? All right. Let me see. Ruined vehicle handling. Based the entirety of their Modern Warfare 2 engine and improved realism features around DMZ in hopes of an extraction mode overthrowing the BR mode. Didn't. Right? New engine had very bad performance and optimization and arguably looked worse than previous titles on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. Ironically, finally ended up adding a ranked mode to the least competitive iteration of Warzone to date. Hey, they cooked. Now, Warzone 3.0 partially brought back slide canceling, but it did not reset tac sprint, which was the whole point of it. Almost all of the other problems introduced with the Modern Warfare 2 engine were still present. Reticle sway, bad vehicles, bad performance, optimization, copy-pasted the same slum buildings all over the map. Map lacked open areas of natural terrain and unique POIs with character. So, big part of it was the map. And, you know, guess what? Current day brought back one of the most unpopular maps to play, BR mode, Urzikstan, even though the new BR map is already finished, Avalon. Who knows if that's true or not? Reverted POI changes done to the map. Warzone inherited the non-existent footstep audit from BO6, brought back all Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 weapons and operators to increase microtransaction cells during the Modern Warfare 3 lifecycle. This will lead to a balance and Warzone integration nightmare and make the game feel repetitive to previous years. Still struggles with performance optimization like Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3.
Bro, this
All
is
right.
such a funny, like, it's all true though. Like, I actually don't disagree with a single thing they put. Whoever made this is actually hilarious.
Yeah. You know, guys, I hope we never go back to 2023, but I'm hoping that, you know, they can add a section to this 2025 for Warzone 4.5, Verdansk comes back and they fix the game. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Cheaters.
Yeah. And then again, at the top of this, you can see cheaters have been the thing throughout the entirety of this thing, you know? So, hey, man. And then JD, show us the Isaac clip to kind of wrap up the pod, man, just so you know. Let's see. Yeah, man. I look, I'm hoping that foundationally they can get this in the right direction. And I do feel like now more than ever, they're actually close. They're actually close. The improvements to the decreased delays with movement, significant reduction to visual recall, sway, and bob, and just all the little things. Hopefully, foundationally, we're at a decent point. Jay, got thoughts on that?
Yep, I think I think there's a bunch of little things they need to do, but those little things add up. Mm-hmm. And I think they're aware of a lot of them, and they'll get fixed.
Okay. All right. Now, chat, this is a big one. Shout out Isaac for making this. It's right now why you should never jump in gunfights. Go ahead.
So before you play the clip, go ahead and pause it real quick. Is that what we're looking for? Is here's the center line of your reticle. When you jump, your reticle goes up and then down like this. Currently, back in Verdansk, it goes like this. Mm-hmm. So and you'll see now. You can look at the clip and you'll see the difference.
So watch. Mila, I'm down to help out after the podcast, Mila.
Like Jesus. Oh my gosh.
Let me hit a fucking jump shot.
Look at how far it goes to the ground. Boom.
Oh my gosh.
Huge difference.
Right here. Oh, he's hiding right here.
He's added those clips in there for flexing.
Oh my god. Let's go, baby! Are you kidding me? What a fucking game! Let's go!
Bro.
Is there another? Oh, there you go.
It doesn't even
move.
move.
That.
Doesn't even move at all.
Yep.
It does go up, but he's already on the way down, so it didn't move. It's not the perfect example, but in this game, it would have went woof.
Bro.
I just want to say, the way that
you can take it off. It's really loud, JD, by the way. It's super loud.
Like that.
The way Isaac celebrated there, you would have thought that he just won like 100K tourney, bro. That is max passion. I love that, bro. I love that.
We haven't had that in years, brother.
No.
In years, bro.
Have you ever won a pub and been screaming like that?
Well, you know what's
Not
funny is if you look at all the old ones, that's how people were in all the old.
Oh my god.
Like year one.
Anyways, oh dude, that brings up a good point too. That Warzone, like when you win, it's so much better than what we have now. I feel like that like OG like Warzone banner. I know they did it for Fortnite, where they have like the original Victory Royale. They should bring that back too.
You think so? The OG feel.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Look, man. Look, boys. I think definitely this update, again, I'm very happy to sit here and not just say the game's ass, the game's horrible, all stuff. Bro, yes, there are things that need to be made, but you know, finally we have a good update, bro. We got a good update that changed some things. And I think they've been, in my opinion, faster this year on making changes than all the other years. Do you guys agree or do you guys disagree with that statement?
I don't
they're
think
making-
it's even a question.
Not even
how
a question.
fast they
Yeah,
are.
they're making great changes.
Yeah, how fast they're doing it. So I hope they can continue to improve on this. And again, man, I'm just hoping that when Verdansk comes out, bro, we're in a good spot. And I think we're close. I think it's close. Foundationally, it's in a decent spot. Fix audio, get cheaters out. Ricochet, come on. I know you get off the bench, you know. And then servers, the big three right now. And then other things they can fix as they go. But those are my big ones, boys. Any final things to kind of address before we hop off, man?
I don't think
No,
so.
I think we cooked. I fear.
Okay. All right, man. Well, fellas, it's been a great pod. Again, I'm very happy to be yapping about not hating the game, not hating the game, bro. So,
Yep.
but fellas, you know, we'll kind of regroup next week for another one, and hopefully they make some changes from here to then before they go on break, man. But boys, JGOD, Ebatez, appreciate y'all, and everybody at home. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Pullze Check podcast, man. We'll catch you in the next one, baby. Peace, peace, peace.